Yamuna Tira Anachari Jaya Rama Rama Jaya Bihari Jaya Rama Omanyanatimidandasya Janagadansadakayam Chakra Kayam Rupa Kada Maya Datiswa Puranika Vandeham Shri Guru Shirata Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakritam Sagana Laganatam Vitam Sadhimam Advaitam Sadvarutam Krishna Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Hey Krishna Karana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tata Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavadeshwari Vishwamanu Sriti Pranamami Hari Priye Vanshakapa Tariv Vacha Kita Sindhu Varevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nanda Om Jnana Timirandasya. So now you can say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Krishna Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, Text 6. Umso Vasha Satam Yayus. Umso Vasha Satam Yayus. Umsam Vasha Satam Yayus. Umso Vasha Satam Yayus. Advardam Shatitatmanaha. Advardam Shatitatmanaha. Nishkaya Nishpalam Yat Asorajvi Nishpalam Yat Asorajyayam Sate Nidam Saptitas Tamaha Sate Nidam Saptitas Tamaha Umso Varsha Satam Yayus. Umso Varsha Satam Yayus. Dharam Achitatmanaha. Ishvalam Yadaso Ratriyam. Sanchinitam Sapitita Tasama. Umso Varsha Satam Yayus. Advatam Chatitatmana. Nishvalam Yadasoratyam. Umso Varsha Satam Yayus. Umso Varsha Satam Yayus. Adartham Chatitatmana. Nishvalam Yadasoratyam. Shitendra Prapitasthama. Umso Varsha Satam Yayus. Sattardam Chachitatmana. Nishvalam Yat Asoratyam. Sete Andam Prapitatama.
Mataji's. Of every human being. We don't know English, everybody knows
English translate to another please.
Pumsa. Of every human being. Varsa Sakam. 100 years. He. Indeed. Ayu. Duration of life. Ta. Of that. Ardham. Air. Da. And. Abhitatmana. The person who is a servant of the senses. Nishkalam. Without profit. Without meaning. Ya. Because. Asho. That person. Atyam. At night. Sete. Sleep. Andam. Ignorant. Forgetting his body and soul. Bhakti-taha. Being completely possessed. Tamaha. Darkness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila. So are we going to translate as we go, or just speaking? What's the system?
Normally we read the translation purport and then class starts.
Normally we do Prabhupada's purport, then continuing. Every human being has a maximum duration of life of 100 years, but for one who cannot control his senses, half of those years are completely lost because at night he sleeps 12 hours, being covered by ignorance. Therefore, such a person has a lifetime of only 50 years. Report. Lord Brahma, a human being and a man all live for 100 years, but their lifetime of 100 years are different from one another. This world is a relative world, and its relative moments of time are different. Thus, the 100 years of Brahma are not the same as the 100 years of a human being. From Bhagavad Gita, we understand that Brahma's duration of 12 hours equals 4,300,000 times 1,000. Sahasra, Yuga, Paryantam, Ahor, Yad, Ramanovindu. Thus, the Varsha Satam, or 100 years, are relatively different according to time, person, and circumstances. As far as human beings are concerned, the calculation given here is right for the general public. Although one has a maximum of 100 years of life, by sleeping, one loses 50 years. Eating, sleeping, sex life, and fear are the four body necessities. But to utilize the full duration of life, a person desiring to advance in spiritual consciousness must reduce these activities. That will give him an opportunity to fully use his lifetime.
Hare Krishna. So we are very, very fortunate to have his given association of His Holiness Trivikram Swami Maharaj. We always used to hear about Maharaj in Leela, about Trivikram Swami Maharaj. So we never got to see Maharaj here. So this is the one also one of us. So Maharaj is come here to give you association. I just like to briefly introduce Maharaj. His Holiness Trivikram Swami Maharaj was born in 1941 and was initiated by His Divine Grace Kirtan Swami in 1969 and was given a sannyas initiation in 1971. During Srila Prabhupada's presence on this planet, he was regularly assigned by his spiritual master to preach in various countries throughout the world, such as Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, and India. He is well known for his full obedience to Srila Prabhupada's teaching, mood, and instructions. As the Buddha personally said about him, he will always go wherever I send him. He is currently heading up the temple in Orlando, Florida, USA. He is also actively preaching in Poland and he has been accepting disciples on behalf of his special master at Iskcon since 1987. So we are very grateful that we have come and give your assistance. So let us chant our 10 Hare Krishna by chanting loudly and we will come and wait for the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So I'm happy to be here. I don't know if I ever been this time.
2 years ago you were here.
Huh?
December 2022, Maharaj was here when the old
I
temple
was here this time.
Yes.
Okay, so let's read about this verse in the purport. Let's discuss how it's saying we're wasting our time eating, sleeping, mating, and so Atanta Brahmajini said, human life is meant to inquire. You really inquire, who am I and why do I have to suffer? When Sanatana Goswami came to Lord Chaitanya, this is what he asked, Kayami, who am I and why do I have to suffer? So we said, no, I'm not suffering. Yes, you have to suffer. Hari Aitik, Hari Dagvik, Hari Dovik, Hari Bhautik. The three kinds of suffering that we can't avoid from our own mind and body, from the nature, too cold, too hot, and from other living things, mosquitoes coming. So we have to suffer, that's the fact. But nobody wants to suffer. Why is that? Because actually our nature, original nature, is blissful, ananda. Sachitananda. This is our original position. But we've disqualified ourselves. We become covered by false ego. False ego what? False ego wants to be the enjoyer, the primary enjoyer, or the predominant enjoyer. But that's not our position. Just like the head is part of the body. It gets its nourishment. But how? Not by eating the food, but by bringing the food in the mouth. So, similarly, if we serve Krishna, then we'll get all our needs will be there. We won't have to be in anxiety. Otherwise, this is the Kunta. Vaikuntha is free from anxiety, but this world is full of anxiety. Especially on your roads, I can't believe it. Cars are coming, the scooters are coming. It has to be an anxiety, because in 1 second it can be death, accident. So, we want to get free from this anxiety. And so we think, oh, I'll make enough money, then I'll get a big skyscraper, I'll live on the top floor. No, you can't avoid it. Whether you're the richest man in the world, you still have these three troubles that will that will overcome you. You can't avoid it. So therefore, we should take impetus on the negative side. Become more serious about our devotional service. It's like Dhruva Maharaj. How serious he was. He was so serious that within 6 months the Lord appeared in front of him. Because he was so serious, he wasn't doing anything except remembering the Lord. He didn't eat, he didn't sleep, standing on his toes, like that. Until he even stopped breathing. Then the demigods got aware because the whole universe was being choked up for lack of air. So anyway, the purport is, it depends on our determination, how much we're ready to sacrifice for the pleasure of the Lord. And it's not really, it becomes joyfully performed. It's not really difficult. Like Baba said, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no eating. I'm simply asking you to give up this poison. You think this is a poison? It says on the package, this is harmful to your health. Let's do it. Alcohol, we know it's used to kill kill it in germs. But we drink it and think, oh, this makes me feel good. It's a poison. Meat eating is also poison. We're not equipped to digest the meat. The dogs and cats, they have short intestines. So the food gets pushed out quickly. But we leave it takes a long time. And while it's there, the meat has rotten and putrefied, and it goes into it. And then they get so much colon cancer. People get cancer because they don't eat the right food. So our process is very joyful. We have the best food, prasada. We have the best association, and by far the best philosophy. The philosophy is invincible. If you understand this philosophy, nobody can defeat it. Who is it? I'm challenging now. I'm saying I can give these points of philosophy that no one can counteract. Like the point is, there must be God. No, maybe there was a Big Bang. What is that? What caused the Big Bang? There has to be some creator. Otherwise, how are things created? And creator, and not only creator, but intelligent creator. Because intelligence we see in the creation. The seasons are changing, the sun is remaining in its orbit. There must be intelligence and a creator. So then we come to the point then, if we have a creator and an intelligent creator, we call him God. There must be God. So like this, we can defeat every argument. Prabhupada was very forceful about exposing these rascals, so-called scientists, and defeating them. Nobody could stand in front of Prabhupada. So he wants us to be like that, especially those who misinterpret the Bhagavad Gita. I saw personally that Prabhupada became disturbed. That they would take Bhagavad Gita and twist the meaning of that Krishna is clearly giving. What is he clearly saying? Mad Bhava, Mad Bhakta. Become my devotee. He's clearly saying that. But then they say, no, it's not the Krishna. You have to. One of the commentators, it's not the physical son of the Bhakti. They think Krishna has a physical body. But in the Bhagavad Gita itself, it says very clearly that in that same self-same body, he spoke millions of years ago to Vishnu. So how can he have a material body? No. Not only Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, Srimad Bhagavatam, they all describe Krishna as the original person. So we can defeat everybody. But in order to experience it, we have to strictly follow. And that's difficult because our habit is there since time immemorial to put ourselves in the center. Prabhupada was telling the story of one big politician in the previous generation. And he was famous wherever he went. But he probably said he was given a ladu, immediately threw it in his mouth. Like a child does the same thing. You give him some sweet, immediately goes in his mouth. They don't think, oh, this is coming from Krishna, I should offer to Krishna. No. Because of false ego. Everyone, therefore the world is a place of chaos. There's wars are going on here and there because the leaders are puffed up. And they think that they have a right to encroach on others. Like in Ukraine. And now Putin, and with Trump in America, now he wants to control Panama or some other place. What was it, Greenland? So they want to expand. That way they feel. And now the same mentality of Alexander the Great and all these Congress. The whole world is contaminated. Therefore, we should give up our attempt to make it perfect and get out. We can advise them how to make it better, but it's never going to be, because just like a prison house, it's a prison house. So how are you going to make a prison house ideal? The bars are coming, you can't go out at night, punishment is there. So we're being punished. Krishna says it's temporary and full of trouble, and he made it like that so we can get impetus to turn to him. He doesn't like to see us rotting here, birth after birth. Going through so many species of 8,400,000, going just like we're reading here, few days you live, and then 100 years. 100 years is not long. Now I'm 84. The time just goes through you. You can't feel it. I'm surprised how old I am. I don't feel old. But it's an opportunity, a rare opportunity. Everything is favorable. We have uniform, we have the meeting with the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, we see on his books, and then we have a little intelligence to take it up. You must have intelligence, you wouldn't be here. So now we have to take it up with full earnestness. Don't be sloppy. Try to do it without skipping the details. Sometimes we want to get to the end before we're qualified. You have to go step by step. Like the example is given in the caterpillar. Caterpillar is moving from one foot to the other. First they bring the front leg, then they bring it back. So step by step, if we do it, step by step, we can make progress. And we should see that progress. What is the first progress? Is we're losing our attraction for the so-called material pleasures. The Lord calls them chewing and chewing. They're not really pleasure. Maybe you get a little relief from the misery. You think, oh, now I'm happy. Like the example is given, it's really cold. You put on a warm coat, it's oh, now I'm. But it's just a relief from the misery of the cold. It's not really positive. There's no positive happiness in this world. A little bit of happiness is there in the sex life. The genital, why the nature has done that, put that pleasure there. Otherwise, nobody would bother having children. So much work, so much trouble, just to enjoy. But the nature tricks us, yes. The sex life is wonderful. Okay. And we were coming just now in college, I was saying, 3 children. So this is the pleasure of life, family life. Everybody is thinking this is the highest pleasure. Even our children is thinking, how can I find my family member? So we have to get beyond this family conception. Otherwise we'll get another family in the next life, here in the material world. Because that's our desire. We want to have an ideal family, then we're going to get another family. Sometimes the example is given up, which is driving on the highway, and there's a rest stop there. And so we pull over and get something to eat. And we're sitting next to somebody, and we're talking with that. We never saw them before. But still we're friendly. Then they get back in their car, and we get in our car, and we go in our own. So this is how we are. We think, oh, I'm so attached to this family of mine. But in a few days, you're going to be separated, and that's it. If you may meet again, by chance, in 1,000,000 years. So, what is the value of this thing? It's like water on a lotus bed. It's dropping off. We can't hold it. I had a family, my mother and father and brothers and sisters, but they're all gone. This is the nature of the material world. I never got married, but did I miss anything? You were married? So you advise me I should get married? Anyway, the point is, this material world is temporary and full of trouble, and we have opportunity to get out of it. So probably use the example of striking when the iron is hot. The blacksmith is striking when the iron is red hot. You can bend it. So now we have this red hot opportunity to go back home, back to Gaidan. Everything is laid out for us. But we have to apply it. Nobody's going to force us, because desire is the symptom of the soul. One of the symptoms of the soul is desire. And by desire, we come here to the material world. So we want to go back in the spiritual world. We have to have a strong desire for it. Otherwise, we're going to be carried away by the pleasures of this world, which is temporary and full of trouble. So take this opportunity seriously. Don't allow it to pass. Just like in business. A man may have to be doing business his whole life, and then an opportunity will come. If he takes it, he can become rich man. Or something like that. He can become spiritually rich and go back home, back to God, have eternal life of knowledge and bliss. We have to take it. Nobody can force us to take it. Therefore, we don't preach to the faithless. It's the ninth offense, right? Don't preach the glory of the holy name to the faithless. We can't force them. We set an example, that's the best way, Acharya, Srila. But when we have opportunity there to preach, we should also preach. Especially in your country, people know about Krishna, they're interested, they've heard about Krishna. So whoever you meet, talk to the Lord Krishna. That was what Chaitanya said. Okay, any questions?
Thank you so much. You said that choose the opportunity. Take the opportunity. You have the opportunity. So after coming to Krishna consciousness also, so to become a serious is also and choosing the things. You have to choose the 2 years, 3 years of social life. So that point of choosing the seriousness sometimes doesn't come. It is as in my life. I will become that serious which I am supposed to be. So that point of bending point again comes on that.
Yeah, therefore we need Guru. Probably to chastise me like anything. We hear Prabhupada say, sit properly. The Guru will do that. Can I tell you how Prabhupada chastised me?
Yes, very good.
Everybody likes to hear it. Somebody else can hear it. No. Okay, we were in London, 1969. Prabhupada had sent me there. They initiated me. They grihasas there, they wanted some brahmachari. To do 3 grihasas for Manji and sent it. And boys were coming, so they said, Prabhupada, we need a brahmachari to help us train up these new boys. So Prabhupada sent me there, and then within 1 month, he came himself. And I was the brahmachari, so I got the service of giving massage to Srila Prabhupada. I never given a massage before. The first day I gave massage, it took 45 minutes or an hour. He liked strong massage because the doctors had told him that he had a heart attack and all that. It was good for his circulation of his blood to get vigorous massage. But I was doing that. And then after the first day, I'd never given a massage before. After the first day, I said to Srila Prabhupada, I'm going to go to the library and get a book how to give massage so I can be more expert. He said, not necessary. You read Bhagavad Gita and Krishna will tell you how to give massage. So I was doing that. And then after about 3 weeks or so, we had the first big open program. And the Hindus, many came. Because in London there's a lot of Hindus, so maybe 50% were Hindus. And 300-400 people, which for us was a big crowd. We advertised, So then, during the class, while I was speaking, the first day here, then I probably was speaking class, and one Indian man was interrupting. What about Lord Shiva? Why do you only speak about Krishna? Anything like that. I don't remember exactly, but like that. Then he probably quieted him, but then 5 minutes later again he stood up and interrupted Prabhupada's giving lecture. He stood up, interrupted Prabhupada's lecture, and said, and started, speaking again. And Prabhupada said, "Sit down, you are nonsense." So we never saw Prabhupada so bold. Because when we deal with him privately, he was so humble. But I liked him, being passionate American. I like to see Prabhupada fired up. So the next day, it was a series of lectures. So I was giving massage again, but my mood was to get Prabhupada in shape for another knockout performance. So I was massaging and talking and massaging. And then it was kind of like, you and me probably could take over the world. But he didn't like it. He saw that I was a false ego. It was coming out. That I wanted to be great. I wanted to be a great devotee. Be proud of me, do something great. So we shouldn't think like we could be great. We could be good devotees, but we shouldn't want to be great devotees. We are named and light. We should be humble. So I was going on like that, and then suddenly Prabhupada said, "No!" And my hands closed on his body. Then he said with another voice, like a 7-year-old child, from way in his heart, he said, "I am just a humble servant." And I was so embarrassed. I was thinking, this person is such an aristocrat, and I'm just an ordinary studio off the street. How can I even be allowed to be in the same room with him? What to speak of touching his body? I was showing. I felt very humble. There was a floor and I thought I should go under the rug. So Prabhupada made me humble, which was rare for me to be humble. He made me humble because he was so humble. And that was genuine. He was speaking from the core of his heart. I am just a humble servant. How could he be so humble? Because he was always remembering Krishna and his spirituality. He was really humble. So we can also be really humble and enthusiastic also. Prabhupada once called me in his room in Calcutta, and he wanted me to open a center in Taiwan because the owner or manager of the big company, the DuPont chemical company, he had a branch there, and he wanted to help finance the movement if we opened a center there. He wanted us to come to Taipei, Taiwan. And Prabhupada was enthusiastic about it, because we didn't have anything in China on the So, he called me into his room, and he told me that this is what he wanted me to go and take us to Ramchai, Arizona, and go to preaching there. So my first reaction was, oh, Chinese are tough, I was thinking, because the Chinese I knew in America, I never saw Chinese hippie. You know, we were hippies and we just threw things away, you know. Sometimes it burnt money, hippie, Chinese. So my first reaction was, oh no, I don't know what I did. But I had Prabhupada's room. He was so enthusiastic. He made me enthusiastic. And I was like, yeah, we're going to China. We're going to China. So that was Prabhupada's father. He was very enthusiastic. How could he be old man? But he was so enthusiastic. And he once said like that, this whole movement is spread out enthusiasm. He was referring to his own enthusiasm. But we can't even stay awake. Yes, he's poking you because you're sleepy. You can't stay awake. You know, it's so difficult. You won't fall asleep when you're standing up. Okay, anything else? I have a book with all my experiences with Sri Prabhupada. So, you can ask good questions. That's good. You can be a good devotee by cooperating with other devotees. This is the move. This is Prabhupada's move. He wanted us to have an institution. An institution means management, and somebody may be posted above us, and so we have to cooperate. Otherwise, the movement won't go on. So a good devotee is one who is eager, happy to cooperate with other devotees and accept the authority of the managerial system. There's a system that Prabhupada left, BBC and the president, to manage the way we've been managing. Sometimes and then he gave the example, because the temple president may tell us to do something which is not proper. But we should do it, and then inquire. In other words, we can't just rebel. He gave the example of the court system. We can bring it to court. We can go to the next level. The temple president is dealing with us improperly. We can go to the regional secretary. And then if he's not happy, he doesn't satisfy us, we can go to the GBC. And then so you gave the example of the court system. You can appeal. So that's what we have to do. We can't just, think this whole thing is wrong and I'm leaving. The devotees have done that, but that's not facing the problem. We have to stay, cooperate together, push on this movement, and keep he gave the example of the Indian Railway. They have that symbol that they put in it, keep the wheel turning, or probably like that. Keep the movement going. I see it's going here. So many people are coming, right? You have so many brown. So this is the move. We want to expand. And wherever we meet, we go to the Lord Krishna. So internally we cooperate with our devotee brethren, and externally we preach to the non-devotees if they're a little innocent. And then probably because there's 4 things, right? The innocent, what are the other 3? Yes, the atheist, we avoid. The devotee, we associate. The innocent, we preach to, and the Lord, we worship. So, we want to worship the Lord and avoid the atheist, but preach to the innocent. And then the problem is asked, well, how do we know who's innocent? The problem is, if they're ready to hear from us, then we can say that they're innocent. So you have experience, and you meet people, they're a little interested, and they're ready to hear from us, because we have a message. We have a mission. We're not just concocting something. We're working under authority. Parampara, the disciplic succession, the knowledge is coming down. So we shouldn't be bashful about presenting that. It's not my knowledge, it's Krishna's. So why not hear from us? So that's the external, we preach to the innocent, and internally we cooperate together. That way the movement will expand. Thank you for that question. Anyone else? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. My name is Janvu Das. I'm a disciple of His Holiness Kadamkanand Swami. And now that Maharaj isn't around in physical form, I sometimes find it kind of difficult to cope up with a situation that I might get caught up in. Like, usually when he was around, I used to just run to him or just call him away, and he would be there to guide me. But now, even after doing a lot of chanting and listening to lectures and reading Bhagavad Gita, I'm still not able to find that inner peace that I used to experience at once. So, what do you reckon?
I reckon you're doing something wrong. You should be peaceful. This is the peace formula. We read the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the last verse. Oktaram yunta tapasam sarvalokaneshwaram. And Prabhupada talks in the purport there. You can read it, 5, 9, or 30. Thank you. And then there, Krishna is clearly telling us that we should keep him in the center. So why are you having trouble keeping? You think that you're more important than Krishna? Yeah, so then we can see Krishna. We can see Krishna says he's the light of the sun. He's the ability of man. He's the strength of the strong. So we should be able to see Krishna in everything we're doing. We're working for Krishna. So if we're doing something wrong, it means a false ego is overcoming us again. We want to put ourselves in the center. It's like a 2-year-old child. It's very difficult for them. Because of false ego, they want to do what they want to do, whenever they want to do it. On the airplane, they just start screaming and calling pleasant stuff. They don't care if 100 people are disturbed. Because they just completely self-centered. So that's how we're born. We're coming out of that by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. We can become a little humble and understand we don't belong in the center. Otherwise, the tendency is, what about me? Me. philosophical understanding. We don't belong in the center. Ishavasha. Ishavasha. God belongs in the center. And then we can feel peaceful. We'll be peaceful if we're doing God's work. Because that's our original constitutional position. So an example, the hand is serving the body. It's not trying to enjoy the food separately. But we're trying to enjoy this material nature separately. Therefore, we feel disturbed. Because we can't. Therefore, what is the most popular song of the biggest rock group? Rolling Stones. What is that song? I can't get no satisfaction, but I try, and I try, and I try. They say wherever they go, people ask them to sing that song. Why is that? Because they're not satisfied. Nobody's satisfied in this material world. But when they see that 500 people are also not satisfied, they feel a little better. Busy likes company. That's why it's such a popular song. So why can't we communicate with you?
Prabhuji, because Maharaj took Samadhi in 2023.
That's the body.
Yes. His Samadhi is in Iskcon Pune in Vrindavan.
Kadam Kanan Swami Maharaj.
Correct. I was written in the last days of the he's not communicating with you in other ways?
Through his messages recorded and written.
If you pray sincerely, I think he'll help you even now. But otherwise, you can get help from sadhus. That's one of the authorities, right? Guru and sadhu. So sadhus are there. Like your Radhanath is here, when you come here. This is like most of his. So speak to sadhus. And they can help. I can meet you also. I don't think I'm a sadhu, but if I'm here for 3 days, if you want to come and have, then we can discuss.
Absolutely. I would love that, Maharaj.
Thank you. Anyone else? From the ladies' side? Yeah, give this up.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I'm very much thankful to hear from you. What I mean to say is that still the fear of death is there. Like, I was not having that before, but then after my parents have expired, then I realized that to hear everyone is going to die, everyone is going
Very
to
good,
die.
you realize. Yeah.
But then
Now, you just said the most wonderful thing. The most wonderful thing is everybody's going to die, but nobody thinks it's going to happen to them.
I also never thought.
So now you've got to realization. It's going to happen to you, so you can be sure you're going to
Sure.
die.
So that fear is there, that fear
No,
of
but
death.
then come to the first teaching of Bhagavad Gita. You're not this body, you don't die. He knows things you die, you get another body.
But maintaining now, since the age is coming, maintaining now the body, I should maintain it, I should maintain it, I should have.
Yeah, because this is Krishna's body. He's giving you this body for use. You should use it in his service. Instead of abusing it or neglecting it, no, we should keep it healthy. So we can do service with it. Just like if somebody lends you their car, then you should be very careful. It's not your car. You should keep it oiled and so on, and get the checkups, and don't just neglect it. So similarly, we should keep our health so that we can assist Prabhupada in his mission.
One more thing is that you just mentioned that you are 84. So just I'm asking, is there anything it is naturally, or are you you can take care to, you don't know how much age we are going to have, but still basic something you can suggest? No, just to maintain the good health of a car, you said maintenance of the body, basic something good.
She's asking whether do you have some suggestion to keep, because you are 84. So do you have some suggestion to keep the body long?
Yeah, don't eat too much. More people die from overeating than undereating. You get diabetes, don't eat so much sugar. Eat healthy food. Devotees eat too much sugar. Because it's, it's over to the DVD, which is perfectly. We should just take eat almost too much sugar, then we get diabetes and all these problems. But that's one. Otherwise, do some exercise.
And do for the mission as more and more. And chanting is very important, isn't it?
It's the most important. Yes, this is and we should chant. And one of the most important aspects of chanting is to hear the mantra. Once I was waiting to give Prabhupada a massage, I had my feet, so I was chanting, and Prabhupada said, "That's not what you're doing." Look what he said. "You listen when you chant?" In other words, I wasn't listening. And then I started to give an excuse. Prabhupada read my mind. He said, "I know you listen, but you have to listen very carefully. Because this chanting is the whole essence of our philosophy." That's what he saw. Chanting is the whole essence of our philosophy. So this is the most important time. Therefore we get up, come to work hour, and we chant, and we listen very carefully. I was chanting my rounds coming, and walking into it. I finished 16 rounds in the time. And I was listening very carefully. You know, I had my eyes closed because if you open your eyes on the roads here, it's like a help. For me, these roads are like a cultural shock. The way people drive. It's like, and the pedestrians, boy, they have no choice. And they're, sometimes you see the pedestrians in the middle of the road, they can't go back, they can't go. In the West, you don't see that. It's more, there's a wide line you can't cross over. They're not seeing the scooters. The scooters are also a hazard. Right? Anyway, that's my personal problem here. So I closed my eyes and I was chanting good. I thought, I was listening very carefully. So that's the best time. Chant very carefully in the morning. I don't work out as the best. And then, gradually you'll see. And the first step again, like I was saying, is that you lose your attraction for material things. Everybody is addicted to sense gratification. But when you get a higher taste, why not just an architect? And then you can give up this recipe. It doesn't bother you. You're not so lusty or greedy. You can see a beautiful woman and think all about what's she going to be like 40 years from now. And she'll lose her beauty, right? Because it's this ephemeral beauty. There's a story like that. Yeah. Liquid beauty. Maybe something on this. I don't know if I'm liquid. It's ephemeral. Here today, gone tomorrow. So why are we so attached to it? Anyone else? Let's stop here. Bhagavatam ki. Your Bhagavad ki.
And also go to the research on Thursday, I think there is morning. So we can bring our friends and our devotee friends and our sisters. Let us thank Maharaj for signing our friends. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Enjoy this Trivandrum Side Maharaj ki Jai.
Yes.